What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome back. It's me, your boy Hebot, and this is Toys in My Closet. Today, I'm going to review and unbox none other than some of Wave 2 and Wave 3 of the Masters of the Universe Revelations figures, as you see here. And I have for you Teela, Beastman, and Andra. So these are some of the newer characters from the newer waves, and starting to hit actual store shelves, because I also found Man-at-Arms, even though I had bought him in the third party, but I also found him in store. So they're starting to trickle out, and I found Andra, and originally you couldn't buy her because she was street dated, I guess. So I had to kind of do a hokey doke in order to get my hands on her. Nothing illegal, but you know, a little hokey doke just to make sure that I was able to get her. I didn't find the Fisto or the Stinkor because I don't really need the Scarecrow. I already have the Mattel Creations, Comic-Con exclusive one. So guys, let's take a quick look at the packaging, because they all pretty much are the same. They're all uniform. They all are continuing the same style and aesthetics, as you see here. There is Teela in all of her glory, and the box for mine is kind of broken. It did break like that on the top for some odd reason. And there she is there. And, you know, Revelations, it says Teela there. Then you see it says Teela on the side. It has the wonderful artwork in the back with the BIOS of Teela there. This is Captain of the Royal Guard Warrior Hero. Teela has many things in her life, but there's now only one word that can describe her best: survivor. So you guys got an idea. Really nice artwork, and then the cross sells from the other figures. And I believe this artwork is done by Idman from Rose School Dinner, and you know, he hung out with Pixel Dan and them for a long time. Fantastic artist, beautiful, hands down, and also a big He-Man fan. Beautiful artwork. Even though I have plans for this Teela, of a different kind, but that's what she looks like in the new look of the new series. And here is Beastman, looking pretty dope, better than what I expected. It says Multiverse on the top, obviously. Netflix there in the corner. Revelations again. Beastman on the side. It says, you know, Savage Henchman. Then you see his artwork there from the new look. Obviously, this is not the classic Beastman look, but you know, it's the one I prefer. And then it says there, you know, fearless, pure force, spent his entire life fighting for Skeletor evil causes, use his brute strength and telepathic commands of dangerous creatures to his master's advantage. So, you know, there you go. And you can read the rest. Cross sale, same old, same old. And then obviously we're gonna go with, lastly but certainly not least, the new version and first version ever of Andra. Andra is a comic book character that was introduced in the comic book very briefly of the original Vintage Toys, and never was made really in figure form. And they did change her ethnicity to a African American young lady or a black girl, right? And you see there Andra, which really doesn't bother me because, you know, she was a small part to begin with. Hero, officer of Eternal. She could have easily been black or, you know, white or Chinese even long ago. So there goes the cool artwork of her. And she's kind of like the fangirl in the TV series. She's us, basically. Heroic officer of Eternals. The brains to Teela's bronze. Andra dreams of being a hero while her crestfallen partner tries to leave that life behind. The stared-eyed scavenger always has a technological trick up her sleeve. So you guys can read the rest as you see there. Cross out, see, you see on the Stinkor and Fisto, and obviously the Scareglow is a little bit different. And there goes the artwork, really cool. And she definitely brings some really cool things that I felt should have came with Teela also. And because of that, I think I might have to get another one just to get some of the things that she has and offers. But again, you know, it is what it is. So guys, let's take them out of packaging one by one, and let's take a closer look at them and see what they have to offer. So sit back and relax, have yourself a digital drink, and hopefully you'll enjoy the ride, and we'll take a look at these figures one by one and have some fun. So I'll be right back in a blink of an eye. Okay guys, so here we go. Here we have Teela out of packaging, and she is actually a really cool looking figure, although I didn't have no interest for her in the cartoon in this form, even though I understood what they were going for. She basically, you know, exiled her own self from the palace, from her position of becoming the next man-at-arms or woman-at-arms, right? And basically, because she was so angry about Adam being killed and finding out that he was actually He-Man, and her not knowing, but others around him did. But it was obviously for her own protection, which she still, to this point, doesn't even know why. So she kind of became a scavenger and a hunter for other people, and got this scavenger hunter type of look, more like a rebel, right, or a mercenary. So for me, I, as a figure, she works really well, but I had no real connection. This is not the Teela that I grew up with, and this is not the Teela that I appreciate. Even in toy form, this is not what I see. But I picked her up either way because she is cool looking, and I wanted to see how she was as a figure. And in my mind, what I'm probably going to do with her is just basically make her into like a actual extra guard, maybe for the palace under Teela, and things like that. So we'll take a closer look at her here, and we'll start off with her head. As you can see, it's really nice and pretty beautiful looking face of her, right? Let's see. Pretty beautiful looking face of her. As you can see, she has the nice red hair, and then it's shaved in the side, kind of like a hairdo like pink. Then she has this overlay protection guard shield on top with the gold accents and the browns, and then you see it has like a kind of a greenish, like an olive green look to it with a white shirt underneath. And then she has the actual gold trimming on the neck of the shirt, plain hands. Does have this brace right here in the same olive green. Same thing on this side. Nothing on the fingers. The nice bicep bandana in that brownish, leathery brownish look. Then she has a skirt piece here that is overlapping on her, you know, on her pants. The nice dark brown leathery look. With the golds on the actual belt buckles and things of that nature. And the gold little accent on top. She's got a little pouch there on the side and that leather with the gold accents in the back. Brown this little holster thing here that holds her weapon. And then you see her vest. Kind of looks like a vest on top, also on the back, or a bulletproof vest of sort. Then you have the, even the buttocks area, which is like a nice, khaki type of brown, light brown coming across. She has on one of her biceps, or rather thigh. She has a thigh brace right there with the leather and the gold, and the knee caps, protections, and the knee plates. They're in the olive green again. And then her boots, they go from the caca looking brown with the weathering and stuff, and torn, worn from it, and then down to that darker brown that you see on her straps, that leathery darker brown with a hint of the green in there, as you can see. So in the back also, as you see there, so you see that she's done really well. She's done really well, as you can see there, and she looks good. She looks cool. So, now what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at, the accessories that she actually brought with her inside the packaging. So, let's stand her up on this nice little stand here, really fast. She seems so far away, right? So far away. So first of all, let's start off with her weapon that she has, that is kind of like an extended type of, oh boy, where did it go? An extended staff that turns into multiple things. Now, I don't know if this is focusing or not, but oh gosh. An extended staff, and yeah, that's with the brown tips and the blacks. Yeah. Then that same staff on piece becomes this battle staff here that has the nice black with the brown, the black, a complete bar, and then the bottom, which would be the hilt with the black pieces, and then the tip will be in that leathery brown look. Painted really nice too. Painted really nice and not sloppy. Pretty clean, really nice. And that same staff piece becomes into this actual sword with the nice grays and then the blacks and a little bit of hint of brown there. So I'm gonna use both weapons like on her at the same time, like as if she had two of those staffs as opposed to one individual one. And it almost looks like a machete, this piece of blade. And then she brings one extra set of interchangeable hands for the left and for the right, which is cool because it's a fisticuff for one. Let's see. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go, fisticuff for one. And then the other side is like a chopping hand. And then the ones that she brings with her, or she has on her right now, on the figure itself, as you see when we zoom in, is actually the open hands so that you can put on, so you could, grip, so you can hold it. She can hold the weapons, her weapons, right? So, really cool to see that and how she's designed. And she looks really good. She looks really good. But like I said, I'm going to use her as my, like an extra warrior type here. So, let's put on the accessories. Or before we do that, let's check out her articulation. So, as far as her articulation goes, here we have her head, and the head moves left and right. It has a little bit of tilt, not even. She looks down about this much, and she looks up about that much. So, not super great as far as the range motion, but you know, well, good enough. The shoulders go up about that much. Obviously, you know, 180 degrees, bicep swivel, an actual, you know, double jointed elbow, a peg on the wrist, which rotates, in this case on her left arm, her right hand, left arm. It goes, you know, from side to side. Then on the torso area, she has the top part here, which she can tilt that way. She can tilt that way. She goes forward just a little bit and back just a little bit. And then she has a, you know, waist swivel. So the torso area, you know, will go down like that. And then it would go hyperextend back about like that. Then her legs, she can do the Van Damme split with ease. And then, you know, she has the thigh swivel, the double knee, and then on the bottom, a boot cut, which is pretty fantastic. Pinless joints, and then the foot goes up this much, goes back that much, and then it has a rocker and no toe articulation. So as far as that goes, that is what she has to offer for her articulation. So now let's take a look at her with her accessories on her. Alright guys, so here we go. Here we have Teela, and she's here with all of her accessories, as you can see. The staff in one arm in its full staff form, and then you can put the other piece in the back of her there, because she has a little place to hold, you know, house the weapon. And then on the other arm, I put the sword in staff in the sword form, or like the machete form, or whatever. But you see, she looks really cool with it, and with them on, and very, you know, barbaric, I guess, or rebelish, mercenary-ish, and ready to go for combat. So that's how she looks like with the weapon. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next figure. We're going to take a closer look at Beastman. So here we go, guys. Here we have Beastman on the packaging. And again, this is a cool looking figure, but very, very dramatic from the original look. He has a more different look, like, I guess, more broken and battle torn. But he has also a very more tribal look to him, with, you know, scars on his body, markings in his face that are different from the way it was originally, and he has locks, dreadlocks on his, you know, on his beard, as you will see here. So you see that it's a very different look than the Beastman from Classics, And again, I feel this figure should have been a figure that was treated like the way they're doing with Triclops and with, I believe, Trapjaw, where the figure should have been a deluxe figure where you can change it with a different head, different loincloth, and obviously his armor. Not necessarily change the whip that he comes with, but change him up with his armor, so just to make him look like the new version and the classic version of the figure. And he looks really cool. The fur all over the body looks really cool. He's more girthier, wider, across. I don't know if he's tall or taller than Mossman, for example, but he is girthier. As far as the length and width, his arms are pretty long as well, and the arms look really thick, as you see there. So you see his face is done really well, with the teeth coming out, with that ivory beige look on it. He has that pohawk on the top that looks like poking, like it looks like he has horns poking out. You got the eyes there, with the blue around the eyes and the white painting going downwards. The blue, I guess it would be ponytails, holding different parts of his beard. And he has the actual mane in the back, in that kind of, brownish burgundy look. That's his back, the width. You see all the definition. If it had a wash to it, it might stand out more, but it doesn't really have one, so it looks very kind of plain, I guess. You see the scar marks there. Look like a beige color on the skin. Then the back, he has, the fur in the back of his forearms, with the black straps and the wrist straps on both sides. Then you see on this side that he has like a robe type skirt in the front, really long, as opposed to the trunks, with a leather strap with the X's on it, stitching. He has a little piece to house his whip. Then his legs are pretty much plain, and then the bottom is also plain, going down. Then he has in the back the hair kind of coming out with that brownish look in the back area, as you see, and in the bottom of the foot, like so. Representing the hairs on him, and that are different color. And he has a knee brace, or a knee, bandana for the ankle, rather. An ankle bandana on both sides. I said knee, excuse me. And this is what it looks like in the back too, this part, as you see there. So he looks really cool. But again, since he's so different and dramatically, in such a dramatic way, compared to the original Beastman, what I'm going to do with him is I'm going to use him in my shelf as another character, right, that is from the Beastman race. Kind of like a Beastman, another warrior that's part of the Beastman race that's not Beastman, and use him more like a side henchman, to Beastman. I possibly might need two to kind of army building, but that's how I'm going to do it in my shelf, in my collection, because for me he's too drastically different to consider him Beastman, especially that a lot of the other characters in the Revelations cartoon are staying so true to the original look and aesthetic, and then also the fact that they're giving you the option with you know, some characters like Triclops and Trapjaw, obviously Spikecore and Clawful, and you know, even Stinkboy, the others from the other wave, or yeah, from the wave 3. That he looks very much like the way classic Stinkboy looked, with a little bit, you know, of a touch of the original, more modern day, you know, 2000X cartoon look mixed with classics, and even the vintage in the actual figure form, the way they did it. So the execution is great, but I'm going to use this guy as a henchman. So now let's take a look at the accessories he brings. And what he does is not much, but this is what he brings. He brings 3 sets of hands. This is another one set, the nails painted. These are fisticuffs for when he wants to fight with his 2 hands. Then he brings a set of grip hands to hold the whip, hold any type of weapon, to be honest. And then the other set is an open splayed hand that he can kind of grab something. And you see the nails are painted in that mustardy brown and green, which you guys see. He has one of the grip hand on this side, which where he can hold, right, and then the open hand where it looks like he can grab on somebody on the other side. That's why the set is different there. And then his weapon is this wonderful looking, more modernized version of his whip in black, which has a real string on it to represent the whip, which is cool, in that nice matte finished black. And that's about it. He doesn't bring much more. So from all the figures so far, I feel like he's the weakest link as far as what he comes with accessories, and even his overall look, because he doesn't have a lot of paint job on him or anything. So, you know, even though it's well priced for $20 from Mattel, I just feel he's the one that is kind of the least content and paint job. So, you know, he's like, you don't really get much, is what I'm saying. So for him to be a deluxe set would have made sense, and all he needed was an extra head, loincloth, and of course his battle armor, where he can change it for his elbows and his actual chest area. But you'll see in the comparison later with a classic version. So now let's take a quick look at his articulation. So here we go, and we'll start off with his head. As you can see, it can move left and right, but it's kind of like in an angle because he's a hunchback character. So the ball peg is kind of going outwards instead of upwards. He can look up kind of pretty good, but he can't really look down at all because of the way the actual beard with the dreads are, you know, or the locks, dreadlocks are, you know, molded on. He kind of, you could tilt it because of the angle of the peg, which is good. Then his, you know, shoulders go up that much, even though it's a bigger ball joint, you know, 180 degrees. Then obviously the double elbow, which works really well, a single peg, and it goes, you know, left in and right. Then since he doesn't have an overlay on his body here, you can see that the torso kind of functions better. So you got the left, and you get a little bit of tiltage, not much but some, and then it's supposed to hyperextend back just a little, but it really doesn't. It doesn't do it with him, I guess because of the design of the mold, him being a kind of hunchback and built at the same time. But he does look forward that much. Then he has the waist swivel, he can definitely do a Van Damme style split. He has the bicep swivel, the double in the knee. Then they gave him the cut, that would be the boot cut, on the upper part of the calf area. Out. And then here, his leg goes back this much. It goes forward that much. And then he has the rocker, which is really loose on him, but no toe articulation, right, like they call it. So, as far as his, articulation, he's very posable. He falls in a lot of different nice dramatic ways. So now what we'll do is put on the accessory that he has and see what it looks like with the accessory. And here we go. Here we have Beastman with his weapon, which is only the whip, on his, in a little slight dramatic pose. Nothing too crazy, because obviously I don't want him to fall down while he's on the spinner. But you see, he looks really cool. With the whip, looks really great. Whip is nice and big. The handle of it, which fits his hands really good, because his hands are really big. If you noticed that, really feels like it makes sense with the actual figure itself. So there you have it. This is what he looks like. Give it another spin so you can look. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the final figure in this set, or in this review, and that would be Andra. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have Andra out of box, and in all of her glory. Now, again, this is a very different character from the original source, but still, she looks very cool and as a figure, and comes with a lot of cool accessories to add to her flair, right? And as you can see, that her costume is very similar to what Teela has, but with a more olive green, yellow, gold, and kind of khaki brown motif. But she looks absolutely beautiful face sculpt, absolutely gorgeous looking character, woman, female facial features and stuff like that. But what I'm gonna do is, before I take a closer look at the character, show her more detailed in depth, is I'm going to take a quick stop here and put up pictures in this area here so that you guys can see photos of concept of what the Andra character is supposed to look like, or and what she looks like aesthetically, as far as her comic interpretation and where she was introduced. So we'll do that right now, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so we're back, and hopefully that was something that gave you some type of information and informed you and showing you what she actually is and looked like originally. So let's take Andra, this version of Revelation of Andra, and bring her up close to the camera. So as you see there, she is what you call it? Let me see if I can. There we go. You can see her features are very nice. I'm going to try to see if I can get a closer look. Oh boy. Oh boy. She's really acting up. There we go. Oh boy. So there is her facial feature. She looks really, really nice. Really, really pretty. Nice burgundy lipstick. You know, her hair is in dreads. Kind of braids. Really nice look. With a nice, you know, kind of milky tan skin tone. Then you have her actual you know shirt underneath is like an olive green, and she has this is sculpted. The overlay on top is sculpted like kind of like it's like a whole piece of like a vest type deal, but it looks almost like a skirt down here in this area. She has this strap going across and that brown with some gold, and then the gold accents in between there in the vest, and the gold, you know, buckle on the actual strap that comes across, and then she has a separate belt piece, separate as you can see, with the grays looking real nice, and the pouches all in brown. And in the back, as you see there, it has that design there. Just sculpted, and you know, she has in the forearm these long gloves that come from the hands to the forearms. You see they're green in the bottom with some gray, blue, like a lighter gray and a darker gray there. And then she has on this side the same thing. And I think this side she has a actual, it's like a rocket launcher or some type of laser launcher that they gave her. Let's see. And it looks like a burgundy color. Like the red and the orange and the blues, rather, I mean the gold. Then the glove, the same thing. With the olive green and the gray on the top. And then in the crotch area, you see she has the split there in the front, you know, it almost looks like a skirt with the gold accent there. And then her pants are like a brownish, khaki brown. And she has some buckles here, as you see. Thigh buckles on her thighs, on both sides. And like that brownish color with the gold buckles. And then has some really high boot cuts with that kind of like grayish, same thing like the cloth, kind of green. And then the knee pads is kind of like a goldish color. A nice design. Gray on the boots, very simple. As you can see. Gray. Looking rounded, and then this is her back. So aesthetically she looks really cool. She looks very close and reminiscent to, you know, what Teela looks like, but you know, with her own look. She looks really, really good. So I'm gonna put her back over here real quick for a minute and let her stand there. Hopefully the pipe will go in. We can stand her. So now let's take a look at the accessories, obviously, that she brought really fast. So we'll start off obviously with the actual cloth goods cloak or cape with the tithering in the bottom. It's almost like a felt material. Looks really clean, really good. And it's like that. It's got that nice, like, black satin look to it. Like a satin. That's what I was trying to say. I said satin look to it. That's what I mean. Then she comes with an interchangeable head right there, which is indicated when they have the mask on in the cartoon, which looks really cool. And then this effect piece for the actual launcher, as you can see, in a hot pink, really nice. And then 2 sets of extra hands, which in this case we have 2 open splayed hands, and they're actually her gripping hands, like she can grip a weapon, which she doesn't bring a weapon, which is just a gauntlet in her hand that she brings, which is kind of odd, but I guess, the also brings oh my god, never mind, I'll say it, I'll get back to it later. And the other set of hands there is the open hands, like if she's going to cast a spell or grab something or someone. As you notice, what I was going to say before is she has the 2 fisticuffs, the fist on, where she's ready to fight. So that's all she brings as far as accessories. Now, it is a lot, but it doesn't seem like a lot because it's still very plain in the sense of having, like a real weapon or weapons, in this case, to, be able to get more range and options with her display, but nonetheless, really good. So I'll take a quick pause and we'll take a quick look at her articulation and see how she articulates. So as far as her articulation, we'll start off with her head. She can move it left and right. She doesn't really have any tilt, but she can look down that much and look back about that much. The shoulders go up this way that much. It does go 180, even though because of the scope it kind of interferes. No, it don't kind of interfere. It does interfere because, as a matter of fact, let me try to turn it back this way. Wait a second. One second. I'll pause real quick. Yeah, you can't really turn this here because this part is kind of hard and it's really difficult. You can do it, but it's really difficult to do the 180. So you can do it about like that, and then like that, obviously. Bicep swivel. She has the double elbow just like all the other ones, and then the peg that goes in and out, and obviously gives you rotation. Now her construction and overlay, she still has a torso cut there, so you can see that she can move, and she can tilt just a little bit, from side to side, and then you can look forward about that much, and then hyperextend back about that much. And then she does have, the torso swivel, and the torso, and then split also. Really well done. the die cut there, all the way on the top of the boots. Another boot cut there, double in the knee, and then obviously the foot goes back this much and goes forward that much, and then it has the rocker with no toe articulation, or toe articulation like they call it, no toe articulation. So that is her articulation in comparison to the others. Pretty much the same, just with a little bit of differences in the torso area based on the sculpting and the overlay that each individual has, or figures has individually, right? So really good articulation. So now I'm going to put her accessories on, and we'll take a close look at that and see how she looks. I'll be right back. And here we have Andra on the spinner. And there she is with her accessories. And as you can see, it looks like she doesn't have much because she brings the blast effects and just interchangeable hands and the cloak that she brings. Now the cloak is really nice because, or the cape, because it has the strings that you can wrap around it to secure it on her, and it's not just something that you put on top. It actually has Velcro, and you can Velcro it on her body. After you do some tying in the front, like you see the way I did, and it holds really well. So what we can do though is take her off of this really fast and do an interchange of her head. So see what she looks like with the actual head with the mask on, because it's supposed to be a mask that flaps over her head, kind of like a contraption, a gadget. The way he did in the movie Lost in Space, and it went over his head. And again, lift this up just to see what she looks like with it. Like so. Wash it in the shoe. Just see that. Supposed to kind of sit right above her, like so. Hopefully this won't trip over. Oh boy. So hard to get her feet straight while trying to keep her balance. Hold on a sec. And here we go, guys. There she is with the other mask on. As you can see, it looks very cool. She looks very almost like a Jedi, to be honest with you. If she was a Star Wars figure with this type of outfit and setup, you could easily pass her off as a Jedi, and it'd be very cool. She looks good. It looks really nice. It looks really sweet. Better than you probably think, and definitely better in person. So yeah, she looks really great. So now what we'll do is we'll do comparison with each figure with other figures that I have that are representative of what their characters are in other lines, and then we'll go from there and go to our final thoughts of the actual figures as a whole. So sit back and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back, and here we have all of the Beastmen that I currently have in possession, in hand, basically, because I do have I do have like the 2000X Beastman as well. So we have obviously here the Origins. Then I have the Mega Constructs Beastman. I did it. Tap it. Hold up. That's the Mega Constructs Beastman. This is the Loyal Subjects Beastman right there. Then this is the Masters Minis Beastman right there. And you see, and then obviously I have the 2000 Classics right there. Classics I have the Classics Beastman. He looks menacing as always. Very beautiful figure as well. Although, you know, I think Classics, you know, articulation, even though the art, paint job and sculpting is phenomenal, the articulation by today's standards compared to the Beastman that we got here in Revelations is very dated. So, I would like to try to see how to put some of those harness pieces that he has there on his pads, on his arms. I don't know if they'll fit, but we'd be interested to see if it does work. So give me a second. Let me see if it works. Let me see if I can do that. Well, guys, I tried and nope, no budge. The hands are way too wide in the you know, forearm area, even though you can take off the hands, and that pad will not slide up. Even the ones on him on the Origins Beastman, it's way too big. They don't fit, so it was a no-go. Sorry. So now let's move on into the next comparison, which would be Teela. And here we are as comparisons. Here are the Teelas that I have concurrently. And again, same case. This is how Teela really is meant to be. This is the Origins Teela, as you can see here and there. And over for Glory. This is what she's meant to look like. And, you know, she looks great. But this is also how the vintage one looks like. Very reminiscent. I also have the Classic Teela, but I have her put away from Masters of the Universe Classic, and I also have the 2000X Teela as well. So, you know, I have them put away. I don't have them at my disposal, so it's hard for me to bring them out. But these are the ones that I have out for, you know, at hands that I can actually compare. And then this is the mini. You know, the mini Teela and the mini Masters Mini. This is from the Mega Constructs right here. Looking really nice also. Very classic. And then obviously from the Loyal Subjects. This is the Teela from the Loyal Subjects that I have in hand as well. She just doesn't have the, you know, the snake armor around her. It's just, you know, without without the snake armor, more Filmation style, which they are going to make one based off the Revelations from the Filmation look next to this Teela. But again, I'm going to use her more as a guard of the Men-at-Arms instead of using her as Teela, because she's a really cool looking figure. But she just doesn't reminisce and remind me of Teela, for the Teela the way I know her, like this, you know, with this setup. So now let's take a look at Andrea, which I don't have anything to really compare her with, but I'll try to put some other figures next to her just to have an idea, or give you an idea of what, you know, she looks like next to something else. And here we have, once again, Andra next to a McFarlane Toys DC Universe Multiverse Wonder Woman from, I believe it's Dark Metal, right? The Masters of the Universe Revelations Evelyn in her new attire with the long white hair, looking very witchery and majestic. And obviously the Masters of the Universe Classics Scareglow just so you can see the differences in scale and how they match up next to each other, which is really cool. She looks really good. And again, like I said, Andra's a really cool figure. I'm kind of conflicted. I don't know if I want to keep her like this with her, you know, actual this headdress or headpiece, or if I want to put on the actual headdress and hairpiece with her human head exposed or her face exposed, which looks really good. And I'm not sure if how I want to do it or how I want to keep it this far. I really wish that they would have made Teela with, you know, this cape as well, or this cloth or cloak as well, because I think, like I said, it looks really, really cool. It looks really, really cool, as you can see. She looks really dope with it. And the camera is not going to do it justice how cool she looks, even though, like I said, she was a different, you know, looking character as far as the design in the comics where she came from, but they never made a figure of her, so it's cool that they made one just because, you know, just because it's they race swapped her race or nationality. Doesn't really bother me because it's just cool nonetheless. So guys, now I don't know, I'll put them all together in a quick comparison and a money shot just to see one last shot, all of them together. And here we go, guys. Here is a group shot with all of the Masters Revelations figures that are available thus far to this point. You know, we have Skeletor, Evelyn, Faker, He-Man, Scareglow, Beastman, Spikor, Skelegod, obviously Teela, He-Man, Andra, Mossman, and Man-at-Arms. I am missing two more figures, which is Fisto and Stinkor, because I haven't found them yet. So those are the only two missing that are so far out and available. And we have many, many more still on the way, like King Grayskull, you know, the Triclops and Trapjaw. I believe it's the Merman in his Revelation form, which I will also probably use as a army builder because I don't really like his plain look, and so forth and so forth. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a He-Man fan once again, and have some good He-Man figures to collect that are decent. Price point is very reasonable, and also the playability factor, you know, interchangeable parts, extra pieces that come with the fact that it's an amalgamation of 2000X vintage and obviously Revelation style. I'll mix it all the bitter, you know, all the better sweet. So now let me end the review with my final thoughts on what I think about these three figures as a whole, and if they're worth adding or not worth adding to your collection. Okay guys, and here we have the three latest Masters of the Universe Revelations figures that I have from Mattel, and it is Teela, Andra, and the Revelations newly designed Beastman. And these figures are, like I said, really, really fantastic figures for the price point that you're paying at $19.99 MSRP prices. They come with a nice amount of accessories, with the exception of maybe Beastman. This is an amalgamation of Wave 2 and Wave 3. There's only 3 waves currently available. Also one Beast with Battle Cat, which I also have. And they're very fun. They're a lot of fun. They look great. They have a lot of different options as far as posability and as far as changeability, that you can do some origin stuff and obviously the Revelation stuff itself, because it brings extra stuff, as you saw, the helmet and the cloak. I could actually put it on, Teela. So again, maybe not for everybody, but definitely I think if you get the figures in your hands and you actually check them out, you're probably going to appreciate them and enjoy them much more than you probably would think you would, because I was in the same fence, I was in the same boat, and so I started getting it in hand, and I realized that Mattel is really trying to do a really nice job with the paint work, the different pieces that are overlays and sculpting and effects that you don't really see unless it's Marvel Legends, but you got special effects and interchangeable hands, cloth goods, for Christ's sakes, pinless knee joints, fully articulated in all areas. The only thing I can see this line is getting better and growing as far as going forward, and as long as it does well, obviously, or continue to do that. So let's support it, and maybe we'll get more and more classic legacy titles and classic legacy vehicles. Maybe we'll get a laser bolt somewhere down the line, or a Brachiosaurus with this line if it does well, or continue to do well. So guys, there's my review of the Masters of the Universe Revelations Wave 2 and 3, Teela, Andra, and Beastman. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you like. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of these figures, if you have them, if you didn't have them, if you might want to pick them up after my review, or if you have no intentions because you just don't care. Also, if you new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I hope you appreciate and like what I do. If you subscribed, I appreciate it very much. It means the world to me, because I know you didn't have to, but since you did, remember, I consider you now part of my family. And for those that continue to come and support me, guys, thank you so much, because without you, like I've said many times before, my channel would not be sustained and would not continue to be a reality, right? Share it with someone you think might like this video, because it will help me out in the algorithm, and it will help me go a long way, to get more views and more people to see what I'm doing, because I put a lot of love and care into it, and I want to do the best I can for the enjoyment of the viewers that come. Guys, you can find me on social media under C_respect on Instagram, the most powerful gaming historian on Twitter, and you can hit me up at any of the DMs there if you want to talk to me in any way, shape, or form, or if you want to maybe make a donation or suggestions of anything you want me to review or things like that. It will be my honor. It will be a pleasure. I will be more than glad to do so. And also, if you guys would like to help my channel out directly, just the like, the subscribe, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, even the comments, or even sharing it with somebody goes a long way. But also, if you want to help me directly, because this stuff is being funded by me out of pocket, not by super chats or sponsors or even my subscription base count, because I don't have enough subscription or subscribers to get any income. I do this all out of my pocket, with the help of my children from time to time. If you want to help me directly because you like what I do and you love my channel, it will mean the world to you. There's a way to do it. You can do it with my PayPal information and my Patreon page that I created. And I will have the information down in the description below. Remember, it's only if you want to. You don't have to. It's not obligated. Guys, keep collecting. Have fun doing it. Be careful doing it. And be considerate with others, because we're still in trying times. And we can have fun, but being respectful and wonderful with others around us. So, see you in the next one, guys. This is your host, Hebot, signing off with the latest episode of Toys in My Closet. Good night, and bye-bye.